Hey guys, welcome back to the Popular Side podcast. If you watched the last episode, then you would know that Mr. Yunka had a surprise for y'all, and here it is. I'm Oyinda,
My name's
and
Rayhan.
we're gonna be
Rayhan.
hosting today's episode.
This was a special for children, but I think hopefully by the time you guys are watching this, it will be the 27th of May, which is Children's Day. So my dad thought it would be a wonderful idea to bring the kids in and I surprise for you guys. So let's get the ball rolling. All right.
Oh
So
wait,
there's a lot of things.
disclaimer.
Huh?
Hold on, Rayhan. Disclaimer:
Yeah.
I am not really like a big sports fan. I play sports, but I don't really watch them like that. So I'm gonna do my best, but he's probably gonna carry the episode. I'm not gonna lie, but
No,
I'll do my
probably
best. I'll do my best.
To be fair, there are probably some, topics here that you might be like more familiar with if we're being like ever so, because there's some sports I don't watch as much, so
That's true.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. So Champions League final is coming up soon, as we all know. Inter Milan versus PSG. Italy versus France. This is, I think, the first time in quite a couple of years that a team, the Real Madrid or the team that beat Real Madrid, didn't make it to the Champions League final, which is a really big thing. But yeah, who do you think is going to win this final?
I got PSG. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
you got
have
PSG?
Mbappe. Who? Yes, I do. You got Mbappe. Who? What could go wrong? Possibly. No, I'm playing.
Mbappe left PSG.
Oh,
like
we're gonna edit
last
that.
year.
I don't know anything. Oh wait,
Wow.
yeah, he plays for Real Madrid.
Plays for Madrid.
You see?
For Madrid. All right. We can just let's just keep it. Let's keep
Let's
it.
just we'll forget that. We'll forget that happened.
We'll forget that. We'll forget that happened. All right. So you just ask. Just
Who
ask
do you
me.
got?
Who? Yeah. So if I'm being fair, looking at both teams, right? My bias wants Inter to win because unfortunately PSG knocked us out and it left a nasty taste in my mouth. If I'm being honest, but I do think, if I'm being objective, I do think Inter is going to win. They have arguably the best defense in the Champions League so far, and
Really?
once again, my bias is showing, right? But I think that the PSG team barely beats the Arsenal team, if we're being ever so technical. And I'm like, they're not all that.
I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt because y'all see what shirt he's wearing and you see the pictures in his background. So
fair enough.
but continue.
I just think that first of all, Lautaro Martinez is an exceptional striker. He's in, I won't call it the form of his life, right? It's not playing it's not an insanity run or anything, but I do think that he has the quality, and I personally don't rate the PSG defense as much as I rate the Inter attack and vice versa. I think that the Inter, but while the PSG attack and the Inter defense are both world class in their own senses, I do think that on the opposite end, Inter has the advantage. So I do think the game will be very close. My prediction, though, however, I think I'm going 3-1 Inter. Right, I think I'm going 3-1 Inter, and Lautaro scores. That's hold me to that. I'm telling you, 3-1 Inter, right, and Lautaro scores a goal in the final. Yeah. So why 3?
Yes, why 3?
I think the PSG team the defense is not that good. I'm sorry. Like other than that behemoth in the net that calls himself Donnarumma, he's like, he's one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen. And, he's been on the scene since he was 19, right? When he was at Milan, I didn't watch him as much, but at PSG, he's arguably one of the best goalkeepers that, I've seen, with my 2 eyes, obviously. I was born yesterday, so I haven't seen all the actions and some of them, but if we're being fair, I think Buffon, if not for Donnarumma, I think that game could be 5-1 Inter. All due respect to PSG, but I think, yeah. Yeah.
I think three
Hold me
one
to
was
that.
fair. I was just picking at you. 3-1
Alright.
is fair. Let's keep it at that.
So what scoreline do you think? What do you think the score is gonna be?
Honestly, I think it would be closer to that. I think it'd be 3-2.
3-2?
Because even so,
3-2.
yes, because even so, PSG's attack is still strong. I just discredit all my ball knowledge, so I'm not gonna say any names. I'm gonna to be safe. But I think their
Yeah.
attack is still fairly strong. They have strong people on the wings. I don't know about center
Yeah,
for
they
it, but
do.
still. So I wouldn't discredit them just yet.
Yeah, they do have quite strong people on the wings, and they would probably win the midfield battle if we're being fair. I do like the midfield is such a technical group of players. Vitinha, Zaire Emery, you know them, and what's his name, John Neves. He played so well against Arsenal. It pained me to watch him. And these guys were wolves, and you like personally, because both or two of those players, I believe, I'm not sure. I'm very sure Vitinha played at Wolves, like in the Premier League not too long ago, and he wasn't doing all that. No disrespect to him. So I do want to give credit to Luis Enrique,
Mhm.
right? He has done an exceptional job with these players, bringing them to the final, right? And I do think that, they would, although I do think that Inter will have the edge. And I forgot to mention, Inter is coming off of barely losing out to the Scudetto in Italy. So I think they're going to be a lot more hungry than PSG, who has already won both of their domestic competitions.
Oh yeah, didn't they
And,
finish second?
yeah, Inter finished second. That's exactly what they finished second. So, and it
Right,
was
yeah.
final day, it was a really close thing. So the players might be slightly demoralized, but I think the mentality of the Inter team, I think, is just going to make
They'll
them
come
more
back hungry
hungry.
for a win. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
All right. Let's keep the ball rolling. Now,
All right.
Premier League season is over. Unfortunately, no more Arsenal
Very
for the
much,
next 2 months.
fortunately. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
Y'all have been hearing my dad talk for weeks and weeks on end, blabbering about Arsenal. There will be plenty of Arsenal slander on this episode because I'm sick of it.
all
Liverpool,
right.
it's
No,
time to shine.
well, now that we're talking about Arsenal, I want to ask you the question: who do you think had a better season, Arsenal or Tottenham Hotspurs?
I hate to say it, but Arsenal. Because it's Spurs, like.
Uh,
But.
keep going.
Like you're gonna disagree. No, go on. What were you gonna say?
I know, I agree with you. Obviously, I'm not gonna come out and say that Spurs had a better season than Arsenal. But if
Of
if
course
you're
not.
familiar with social media and you're seeing what's going on, there's quite a bit of discourse talking about how, if we're being objective, right? Like if we're looking at what they came out of the season with and they put on the table, okay, this is what we achieved this season, right? Arsenal only have Champions League qualification to show for it. Second place is no different to fifth place as far as the Premier League. There's no extra rewards. There's no extra. Second place is no different from fifth place as far as they both enter the Champions League. On the other hand, Spurs finished 17th, right? Yeah, 17th, right? They finished 17th. However, they beat a sorry Manchester United team in the Europa League final.
But it's Manchester United.
It's Manchester United. They're in shambles, but
They're in shambles.
That's a topic for a bit later, right? But I do want to say that. So the people who are saying that Spurs had a better season than Arsenal, right? I will say yes. Trophies are a very, how do I put it? They're a very important part. That's what we play the game for. You play the game so at the end of the day you come and say, we lifted the Champions League, we lifted the Premier League, they won stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's demeaning, right? That as a club that considered itself part of the big six, that you finish one place above relegation. Do you know that this Spurs is the first team in EPL history, right, to lose 22 games in a season,
actually,
and not get relegated, Which, if we had a slightly more competent group of promoted teams this year, I think Spurs and maybe even United might have.
They would have been relegated.
That would have been cinema. Like I would have loved to see that, but I think it's quite shameless, as a matter of fact, for you to come forward as a fan of a so-called Big Six club and then come and be proud of a 17th place finish just
17th place. That's
because you
disgraceful.
won the like. Yes, that's disgrace. The only 3 teams that performed worse than you guys were teams that were in the championship last year. So that you're basically the bottom of the barrel. That it doesn't get worse than that. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong. All credit to Ange. Right, they played wonderfully in the final. I watched the game sparingly. Right, but no offense to them once again. I think it was more of United being bad than Spurs being
Than them
good.
being good. Yeah.
Spurs were the lesser of the two evils, if I'm being fair. And I was personally rooting for Spurs because I know way too many United fans, right, that were ready to explode, right? Because, we had a better season than Arsenal. Oh my God, you guys didn't win anything. You're going trophyless.
Blasphemy.
And now, like, do you understand what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing people crying. I saw this video. I saw this video on TikTok the other day. It was this like United fan, and he was like red eyes, everything, just crying. Like, this season has been such a. And I'm just like, I'm personally, I don't want to. I enjoyed watching the video. Like, United suffering. I'm sorry, man. Bring more of those tears. More of those tears.
More,
we love
please.
to see it. More, please. More, please.
No,
but yeah. More tears, please.
But on the flip side, though, Arsenal's season was pretty impressive, as much as I hate to say it. The ties that we did play Liverpool, I mean, like, you did put up a decent fight, other than us, like, whooping you. What was it? No, I can't even say that, because last time we played you, didn't we tie?
Yeah, we drew both of our games this year. We drew 2-2 both first and second time we played.
Anyways, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that.
Okay, I would argue, funny enough, that Arsenal were the better performer over both of those games, right? And I'm biased, no doubt, right? But if you watch the first game, right, we were playing we played much better. And as an Arsenal fan, you hear me say this a lot. But the XG, I'm saying that if we finished our chances, we could have been up by like 4 at halftime. I'm talking about the very first game. However, the second game was a bit
playing around in the box.
Okay, there's not much I can do when Martin Odegaard decides to play his 5th back pass of the game, you know? Like, there's not much we can do, man. Counter attack, nah. Give it to center backs.
If you could finish, then I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But you can't finish because you're spending 10 minutes running circles around our defense in the box.
That is true. I think I don't want to be that guy again that you hear, Arsenal need a striker, right? You need a striker. Like, I don't want to be that person coming in. Let's get Sheshko, let's get Gyökeres. I think that's 2 things Arsenal need. Okay, we need luck, and I mean luck in a lot of aspects, because every team, you need a bit of luck to win anything, to win any trophy, right? Man City won last year over some fluke decisions down the line. I don't even want to get into that.
Still a little bitter about that.
I'm very bitter about it. Like, do you understand how crazy it is to know we went from, I think, January up until the end of the season, we only lost 1 game from January, and we didn't win the league. We didn't win. Nah. I would be tilted. What are we talking about? I would be tilted, right?
But, I still remember my dad crashing out over that, so we don't need to relive it.
Yeah, we really don't need to relive it. We don't need to relive it. But back to what I was saying, right? We need luck, right? You know, injuries, luck as well. It's hard to play a football game when out of the 25-man squad I have 10 people that are unfit to play. 5 people who are low are not good enough to be on the team. I'm not gonna mention any names. Right? So
no, mention names. Mention names. Go ahead.
I'm not the type of guy to badmouth my own players, right? Because you know
because then you'd have to go through the whole roster. But
what?
Anyways.
Anyways, but objectively, yes, we need luck, injury-wise, Robert the Green-wise, and finally, yes, we need another attacker. We need depth up front. We'll say something. Arteta's first, was it the first year? No, that was the year we wore the black jersey. I believe that was 2020. 2022. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the 2022 season. I think that was the year we had the black. I'm not entirely sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. That
I
year
can
we
check.
were a fluid team to watch. I like if you would like rival fans could admit it too. Where you would come into an Arsenal game, you see free flowing football, the 1-2s,
Right.
Martinelli in the form of his life, right? Saka, everything, it was fun to watch. We're attacking fluidly, but we were kind of leaky at the back. And
But now it's
I'm being
flipped.
but now it's flipped exactly. Over the years, Arteta
Yeah.
said, "Okay, let's shorten up on our defense. Let's shorten up on our defense." And now we have a neglected attack. You cannot be telling me that we need a goal and you're bringing on Raheem Sterling, a 34-year-old Raheem Sterling. I'm sorry, man. I remember in the
Now
game
let me
we
ask you,
lost
what are your
again.
thoughts on Partey? Because my dad swears that Partey is probably like the devil incarnate. He blames him for literally everything. Him and his
Okay.
incompetence.
I was once the Arsenal fan as well, who was always on Partey, but it was this season that I kind of awoke to the greatness that he possesses.
The
And
greatness.
it sounds like I'm like highly exaggerating and glazing him, but I think Partey is the anchor in this Arsenal team. The very first leg against PSG, I will never forget the goal that Dembele scores. He does not score if Partey is on the field, right? See what he does the fundamentals to an exceptional level. And there's this thing that Johan Cruyff said, right? The hardest thing to do is to play simple football. It's just the simple pass, touch, move. Although I will say he had his mess up in the second leg. Every player has their slip ups here and there. Jara slipped in the final game of a Premier League season. Like, what are we talking about? But
Exactly.
but I think Partey is an exceptional footballer, right? We give him way too much slack. I will say. I will say he has improved. And contrary to popular opinion, I think we should try and resign him for next season. We should try and renew his contract. I know we've got Zubimendi coming in. Yes, he will be an excellent addition to the team. I still think we should keep Partey for the squad there, right? But yeah, we will move on. What is next for Manchester United? The Red Devils.
This one should be fine.
Wow. What's it for
Their
club,
season. Let's talk about their season first. Honestly.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's be objective. Let's talk about this season.
What was their record?
I believe they ended up finishing 15th. If I'm not mistaken, could you let me confirm that? I believe they finished 15th. Yes, they did finish 15th. They finished 15th in the league. Shockingly, I thought they were going to finish a bit okay. Like 5-goal difference.
I thought they were going to get relegated with the downhill trend they were going on.
I did think they were going to get relegated. Ruben Amorim came in and Manchester United were 4 points off the top 4. They end the season 2 places above relegation. Where do they go next? I will say that they should keep Amorim. And I think they give him up until January. Why should they leave him till January, or why should they keep him?
Why should they keep him first?
Why should they keep him? As I said, I know I was just attacking him for it, but if we're being fair, that's not his team, right? He should not have finished in the position that he finished, right? But I also don't think where does this end? We sack Amorim now, and he just continues this endless cycle of managers' heads on the chopping block. 2 seasons in, 3 seasons in, 2 seasons since Fergie. I don't think they've had a manager do up to 4 years, like in a row.
Really?
I might be. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've had a manager do up to 4 years. There was Louis Van Gaal. I don't know how long he spent. Then at some point there was David Moyes. Then there was Mourinho.
No, then I guess that's fair because even if the team is buns right now, you can't fix every problem by sacking the manager. So
exactly, that's what I be telling people. With Arteta, you can't say that. We're second place, and I'm going off track, right? But you can't say we're second place and then sack the manager. What are we gonna get?
Like there are other people to blame, and there are other things to fix.
There are other things to blame. Exactly, there are so many other things to blame, right? See, a manager's job, right, is to set the team up tactically to get the ball into the box. You can take the horse to the river, but you can't force him to drink any of the water. You can't force him to drink it, right? Arteta,
Right.
and I'm talking about Arteta. Sorry. You can't, because the manager's job is to put you into the position where to score. You can't control the player's leg and direct him to put the ball in top bins, right? You can't. There's
Act like he
nothing
missed the
can.
shots himself.
Yeah, you're acting like Amorim is the one that's missing these chances himself. Because one or two better, for example, in the Europa League final, Van de Ven doesn't pull out that amazing overhead kick clearance on the line, and it's a 1-1 game. They go to the what do you call it? They probably go to penalties, and Man United might win. And all of a sudden, the season is saved, and Amorim is a world class manager. I feel like you can't really judge a manager if it's these little things, right, that completely switch the narrative. I think that's completely unfair to him as a manager. However, I think they should give him up to until January, right?
And if there's no changes, then
if there's no changes, then hopefully bring in a guy so that he can at least sign a. Because I think another mistake that United made was that because of the timing that they signed Amorim, he wasn't able to fully sign some of the players. Because, now correct me if I'm wrong, once again, I do not think he was I don't think he had the funds he would have wanted to have at his disposal by January, right? So
really,
I don't like, because he needs to buy his players and everything. I don't think he was the board gave him enough backing. So I think let him have a summer. I think the plan for me, give him a summer, right? Give him the funds. I know Manchester United
get the player he needs, and then
get him the players he needs.
Because if he has like a fairly like decent team, but they're still like bombing every game, then that's fair. Like, get him out.
Then we have to look at Amorim and be like, buddy, you might. It's
time to go. You gotta go.
It's time to go.
Yeah, right.
You gotta go. So let's keep the ball rolling. Onto the next topic. World football. Talents everywhere, Let me hear your top 5 teenage talents in world football. Top 5.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say Lamine Yamal first, of course. Then
I think that's ceremonial. I think everybody can agree on that. So Lamine Yamal is.
I mean, he's doing amazing things. He's doing amazing work.
He's doing incredible things.
Yeah. Then we got I had to say, but it's an Arsenal player. Ethan, what's his last name?
Nwaneri.
Yeah. Got him.
I know I'm an Arsenal fan and I should support you there, but I disagree.
Do tell.
I think there's a better player on that same Arsenal team who deserves bigger shouts than him. But I also don't think that they should be second in the world for teenage talents. Come on. There's players like
okay, it's unranked. I'm just naming people, but go on.
Oh. No, in no particular. Okay, I judged you too harshly.
No particular order. Should have specified.
I judged you too harshly, but so you know what? Finish up. Then I will.
No, wait. Who are you gonna say instead? I want to know first, so I can counter.
Nwaneri. Instead of Nwaneri, Desiree Doué. I think Desiree is the PSG left winger. I think he's the revival, quote unquote, of Joga Bonito, right? If you that's how the Neymar used to play, all the flashy skills, type of guy that people, when they pay for PSG tickets, when they paid for Brazil tickets back then, I can't wait to watch Neymar play. Oh my god, like you see the way he did that rainbow flick. You see that elastical. That's the type of player that I see Desiree Doué becoming. And once again, I don't like how the media sometimes tries to force all these narratives on players, right? Because they're young. Let them. He's not the next Neymar. He is the next Desiree Doué. He is himself, right? But you can't deny that there's some comparisons there, that they're both sides of the same hand, if I'm being fair. They're incredible talents. Although they got locked up by Lewis Kelly when they played Arsenal. I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
Yeah,
but let's hear.
That's
let's
fair.
hear the rest.
I think comparing him to Neymar was very bold, but like, okay, Yeah. Anyways, so back to Ethan. I don't know. I think he's a strong player. He's been with Arsenal what, 3 years? Because he started at like 15, yeah.
Yeah, he came on at 15 against Brentford. I remember the game. We won 3. We were winning 3-0. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Continue.
But yeah.
Okay, that's
Help
fair,
me.
but that's two. Like, and three more slots. Who else did you go?
Okay. Not gonna lie,
You
just
don't
go to you because
you don't
I'm lost.
you don't think that Lewis Skelly deserves a shout? Miles Lewis Skelly, the Arsenal left back. You don't think he deserves a shout? I think Miles Lewis Skelly deserves to be there. A certain boy from Barcelona, Pau Kubarsi. I might not be pronouncing that correctly, right? Centre back of Barcelona, he is an exceptional talent, right? I personally think that he deserves to continuously start over Araujo. No disrespect to the Uruguayan, but like, yeah, okay, your time is up. Yes, as I said before, I'm going Lamine Yamal, right? Desiree Doué, Miles Lewis Skelly, Paul Kubasi, and then we can talk about Ethan Nwaneri. Wonderful player. I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
And that's ranked.
And that's ranked for me.
Okay.
That's for me. I think
fair.
The massive, beautiful talent, wonderful player. I just think there's like four better players. One in his team, so you know. But let's keep the ball rolling. All right. So now, you watch a lot of sports there, you know. There's basketball, tennis, football, the NFL, that's American football, right? And there's players that stand out like above the rest, like above everybody. There's the players that when you think of the sport, you're like, oh yeah. American football, that's Tom Brady, you know, right? Basketball, LeBron James, you know, like you have players. So if in your personal opinion, right, I want to hear this, right? Who would you say is from? I want to hear from male athletes and female athletes. Who is
okay? So I'm gonna give like
GOAT?
3 men and then 3 women. Men first, I suppose.
All right.
So I think in soccer I got Messi, and I'm elaborate. I'm elaborate after I'm done. So I got Messi for soccer. I got for basketball. This is gonna sound really basic, but again, I don't watch basketball like that. LeBron James. And then maybe not as my GOAT, just as a player that I like. And then for let me think of another sport. For football,
for
like NFL football.
Yeah.
I would say Jaden. What's his name? Ooh, not me about to get his name wrong. Is it Jaden Daniels? Oh my god, in the Commanders,
the
Commanders.
Washington.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, Commanders.
Go.
No, not go. I'm saying players that I like. Okay, because I can't. I feel like since I don't watch sports like that, I shouldn't even say like greatest of all time. Like I'm not knowledgeable enough to say that. But since you, why are you making a face at Jane Daniels? What do you ever do? What's wrong with him?
We're talking about the best athletes in all of sports.
No, that's what I just said.
And
I'm not talking about best of all time.
We are not letting that slide. We are not letting that slide.
I feel we are
about the greatest athletes of all time, the GOATs, and you're bringing up Jaden Daniels. He's good, boy. Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Okay, give me a legitimate reason why not. Other than he's
why
rookie,
not?
Why not? I'm not asking you to argue like. I'm not asking you to argue that he's not the greatest of all time.
No, hold on. Because he has nothing to his name, right? Okay, he has. Whoa, hold on. Let's be objective. I don't know why you're laughing. Let's be objective, right? So his rookie season, right? I believe he made it to the what's it called? Ouch. He made it to the semis, more or less, right? So I believe they lost to the Eagles. They got blown out by the Eagles, by the way. Right? So he has 2 playoff wins to his name. And he is in a GOAT athletes conversation. He's in a GOAT athletes conversation.
That's why I started by saying I'm not going to say my GOATs. I'm just going to say players that I like. Because I'm not knowledgeable enough to argue why they're the greatest of all time. Yeah. So let's relax. I'm not saying that Jaden Daniels is the GOAT in the NFL, but like give credit where credit is due. Like in his rookie season, like let me pull up his stats real quick because I don't remember numbers and stuff, but you're gonna. In his rookie season,
Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. 3,568 yards, 25 touchdowns, 60. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. That's not flattering. 69% of his passes. That's fair enough. But like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't see why not. Like, if we're gonna say like, I know we're talking about the ghost, but like for up and coming, he would definitely be like the best one I could think of. But for my go, I can't even talk about that. Like, I don't know nothing about football, so I'm just gonna say players that I like. See,
whatever
he's judging me now. I feel like, yeah, that's what I say, and I'm gonna stand by it. I'm gonna stand. Okay, what about you then? Who's so much better?
Yeah. There's like 10 QBs in the NFL that are better. I can 15, man. 15 quarterbacks that are better than
whatever.
But conversation for another day, right? My top 3 my goods across all sports, right? I think first of all, we have to give a shout to Lewis Hamilton. What? He did not win that many titles in Formula 1 for him to be disregarded and being discredited by Jaden Daniels.
Anyways,
yeah. No, I'm gonna bring this back on. I'm
never gonna live it down. No.
You're never living it down. You're never living it down.
Oh
right?
my!
So I have Lewis Hamilton, right? And this is personal to me now. He's still in the argument, but I think Neymar, right? I think that he has gone through. No, don't get me. He's not. I won't call him. I'm looking at it from an athlete perspective, right? Obviously, he has some moral issues that we're gonna push under the carpet for a bit.
We're just gonna ignore that.
We're gonna ignore that for a little bit, and we're gonna talk
table
about
that for another day.
Like, what's it called? As an athlete, right? I think Neymar is one of the most iconic players like ever. For example, when I think of a rainbow flick, I think of Neymar. When I'm playing FIFA and I see a card, he has 5-star skill moves. He's like Neymar. Like, that's the first thing that comes to your head. You know, that's what iconic. That's what it means to be great, right? That people almost, when they think of something about the sport, your name pops up, right? For example, I'm thinking of F1, Lewis Hamilton. Skill moves dribbling, Neymar.
Right.
A slightly good rookie that played kind of well in his first season, Jaden Daniels.
Anyways. Like, you think you got jokes.
Yeah.
Wait, who was your third? You didn't say your third.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So my third player, right? I'm trying to spread out the sports a little bit. I don't want to be too content because if we're going football, I could name like 7 players that like I think are very, very iconic in the sense of the sport. But in basketball, I'm gonna mention Stephen Wardell Curry. I think Steph is, first of all, he's changed the game, obviously. 3-pointer. Like, when you shoot the ball, your mind, you're thinking, oh, God, I look like Curry right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a you thing, but go on.
No, like when you shoot the ball, you want to look like Curry. Like, you're thinking,
fair enough.
Like, if
I'm a little biased. Not my favorite.
Yeah, no, but if you actively play basketball, when you get, like, you want to shoot from half court, I want to be like Steph Curry. Like, Steph Curry has high schoolers. Steph Curry has people like Jason Tatum, 6'7", right? And you think you're a 3-point shooter. Get to the rim, like, do you know what I'm saying, right? So I think he's changed the game. Honestly, he has changed the game, and I think those 3 players have done too much in their careers to be compared to Jaden Daniels.
Anyways, no, that's actually a fair list. That's way better than mine. I should have said no. I'm not even gonna revise it.
I'm not gonna allow you to. I'm not gonna allow you to do that. Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep the ball rolling. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. We are getting to the serious, I call it the serious parts, but we're getting to the tougher parts of most series. I think both teams have played game 3s. Yes, I believe the Thunder played this night. I believe it's tomorrow morning for me, but it's basically the Thunder played this night. They're playing. It's 2-1. OKC have the lead 2-1, and the Knicks as well are finally on a positive trend after getting whooped by the Pacers for game 1 and 2. We've watched the Pacers Aaron Neesmith
But before
was
that,
hitting.
whooping the Celtics, mind you. But go on.
Buddy, nobody cares if you don't make it to the finals. Let's be so real. Like, like all of this. Oh,
Okay,
we
who
beat
do
the
you got then?
Celtics.
Who do you got?
No. Hold on. I'm gonna make my point first,
Okay.
right? All
Okay.
this. Oh, we whooped the Celtics. But like, will it matter when like they don't win anything?
It's the effort that counts at the end of the day.
Effort does not count. Like, so people keep telling me about Arsenal, right? And I'm biased because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm never gonna admit it, right? But if you do all the good stuff in the season, you have all these wonderful last minute comebacks,
And you came second.
Why don't we let's chill out a bit, right?
Continue.
Right?
Continue.
So we beat the Celtics. Oh, we were so good this year, right? And you don't win anything. What's the difference between you and the Grizzlies that got my Grizzlies that got swept like in like the first round?
Stop.
There is no difference between the. I don't care what you tell me, bro. I do not care what you tell me. If, as far as I'm concerned, right? If you do all that and you don't win anything, you're no better than the team that went out first round. Because as far as we're both concerned, you both qualified for the playoffs. And as far as I'm concerned, when we check 2025 champions, you're not gonna see the New York Knicks actually tried really hard against the Celtics. No,
Wow.
It's gonna show the team I think is gonna win, the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's what you're gonna see. You're not gonna see Karl Anthony Towns. No. But you know what? I'm not going.
I can't stand for this.
I'm just
this blasphemous.
I'm being serious. I think the Knicks, don't get me wrong. Now let's be a bit more objective, okay? The Knicks played really well against the Celtics. Kudos to them, right? New York is going to burn down if these guys win the chip, by the way. But that's something for another day.
They thought Philly was bad.
They thought Philly was bad. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Exactly.
They thought Philly was bad, but yeah. New York has done really well. They've got a finger in, I guess. They got a finger in the soup now. They've gotten a game back against the Pacers, right? Do I see them coming back? Not really.
Why?
I said that a bit lower because I'm not very as confident in that, but like I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
I still have hope. I still have a little bit of faith. Just wait. Come talk to me in a week. You know.
Sure, buddy.
Okay.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but back on the other side, on the West, which we haven't really spoken about. Sorry, no disrespect. The free throw merchants MVP SGA is playing up against the Timber. They've been up against Timberwolves. Same situation, 2-0 up. They just conceded a game, and Ant-Man and his Ant-Man and his Wolves are on their way back to coming back. Personally, I think the Wolves will come back, but I do think the Thunder will win like the series at the end of the day. Like I think Thunder will probably win in 7. I don't see what's it called? The Timberwolves team collapsing because they have a bit of playoff experience now, right? Julius Randle, he's kind of inconsistent, right? But he has, at least in one of the times I remember, if I'm not mistaken, he had an exceptional game, right? And I think it was in the game that they won. He played really well. So I do think that the Wolves have playoff experience now, so I will say that they have a good chance. And I think Shea is finally playing up to MVP standards, compared to when he was playing my Grizzlies in the first round, where he was not present, if not for the fact that we were just bad, right? Like I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to hate, right? Like the first game we lost by 51 points. That is disgraceful. That is, and you know the worst part, Ja had the nerve to come into the media and be like, "We will never play that bad again." I hope so. What?
God forbid.
But I digress. I think OKC wins this. However, OKC wins in 7. Pacers win in 5. Yeah, I said it. Pacers win in 5, right? And we have Oklahoma City and Indiana, what's it called? NBA final. I think OKC wins. I think the Pacers have a good chance though. I'm just saying all this that I will not be condoning any Pacers disrespect. That's just me,
No,
though.
I'm not.
But
I'm not disrespecting them. I agree. Like I feel like they had a good run so far. I wouldn't be surprised if they
yeah,
made it to the finals. But I'm
yeah,
just gonna. I'm not gonna admit that like Knicks aren't cooked. Okay, like don't count them out yet. Don't count them out yet.
yeah.
You know?
Okay, let's keep the ball rolling.
Keep the ball rolling.
The NFL, the National Football League. The football on the other side of the world, on another continent, American football. All the teams know their rosters for next season, right?
Right.
You know who's going to be in the team. So now I want to ask you the question: who do you think is winning the NFL next season?
Eagles. Based off of nothing. No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you.
Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a valid shout. I see where you're coming from, but there's so many other teams that have only gotten better, right? I'll give you an
Like who?
example.
Don't start with them 49ers. I'm not gonna have it.
Let's talk about them Niners. Let's talk about them Niners. See, now,
Okay, plead your case.
We had an off season, no doubt. We played really bad. We didn't make the playoffs. That is horrible for somebody who made the Super Bowl last year. Wait,
Disgraceful.
We made the Super Bowl last year, right?
Yeah,
That is very pitiful, right? But at the same time, we were heavily riddled with injuries and we had a lot of contract drama going on. You know, with Brandon Ayuk being a diva for like how long? For a large portion of the season, talking about, oh, I'm not gonna play if you guys don't like pay me my like big contract. I'm like, no. Why not having that discussion?
No, really, I didn't keep up with that.
Why don't we I feel like if we didn't have as much of those what do I call it? So much stuff going on in the background, would have had a better season. And don't get me wrong, people played horribly. We had wide receivers dropping balls that I would catch, and I'm 5'8". that like you were 6'4". What's his name? Ronnie Bell. I do not want to see my team next year.
Oh my gosh.
We had kickers missing the easiest kick. Do you know that Jake Moody was drafted as a kicker? And so I don't know, to put that into perspective, most kickers go undrafted and then are picked up as free agents because they're not as priority positions that you would pick in the earlier rounds in the draft.
Yeah, right.
Out of college, he was deemed so good that he was drafted. And not in the 7th round, in the 3rd. In the 3rd round, you draft a kicker and he's missing. He's already deteriorating this year early into his career. No. We can't have that. We can't have that. I think we will do better this year because we have less of that drama, and Big Brock has received his $265 million contract over 5 years. I think was that an overpay? Slightly. Do I have
a little more than slightly if y'all don't come with results, but I'll let y'all. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Sure, buddy. See, I think, right? Brock he played really well. In fact, out of most of the things that happened last year, Brock and George Kittle, the tight end, have been the two shining lights or the silver linings. That's what I was looking for. The silver linings in the whole team, right? The rest of everybody was, oh lord,
buns,
utter buns. But like, you know, I was like, it was so like it almost pissed me off watching some of these games, bro.
Let's talk about a winning team, the Eagles.
Sure.
I think
buddy.
Based off the high alone, like we're definitely in the running for next year because everyone's talking about some three-peat. Chiefs are going to take it, blah, 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 blah. And then whoop, touchdown, whoop, 40-22. Like, who are you playing with? Like, that alone is, like, reason why I think we should take it next year. But
True. Once again, I'm going to try and eliminate my obvious bias. Yeah, I think the Eagles have a good chance to do the double. They haven't really lost much talent in free agency. I expected them to lose talent. They haven't lost any talent. I expected like 1 or 2. What? Well, I know, like you haven't. I said you haven't lost anyone.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant like
nobody has decided to leave or anything. So like you guys are good. We lost, bro. Do you know how many people we lost on defense this year? We lost Dre. We lost Hufanga. What's this other dude? Debo went to the Commanders. Like we are not the same team we were last year. But but we're gonna be a better team. We're gonna be a better team. That's the argument, right? So, but now I'm gonna try and not talk about my Niners because let's just move that to the side a bit. Who do I think is gonna win next year? I think the Bills, right? I think the Ravens, right? And
I would be happy with that. I would actually be.
We're gonna bring up somebody that you might be very familiar with, Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
What about him?
I think they might have a chance, right? No. Then he doesn't have a chance of being in a GOAT athlete conversation. Just so you know, in case you.
But Commanders has a chance of winning. Yeah. Okay.
I know I'm being valid, right? They've added talents. Right, last year they got blown out by the Eagles. That was really, really sad to watch. But on the flip side,
I was very conflicted that game. Yeah.
I can imagine. You know, it's conflict of interests. But yeah, I think the Commanders do have a good chance. They have a good QB. Wide receiver room isn't great, but wide receiver good. Wide receiver room is getting better, right? They added Debo, right? They still have Scary Terry.
I just seen him. I see him and Daniels at the game that me and my dad went to because we went to go see. We went. It was like Kiki in VR. I'm so mad I don't remember her last name on Washington DC for women's basketball.
Kiki Palmer? Is that her name? I don't know who you're talking about.
Iriafen.
I don't know. Ew. Wow. I was very off.
Shame.
I was very off.
Shame.
Either way.
We were at a game we saw them. But go on.
Wow, that's really. Oh yeah, Kiki Palmer is an actress. Yeah, I got that wrong.
Yeah, you tripped me up for a second.
I got that wrong.
It's okay. I've had my share of embarrassing moments in this past hour. So
you've had quite a couple.
You were due for some.
Jaden Daniels.
Hush.
Jaden Daniels.
You know, I stand by my opinion.
Jaden.
He may not be the GOAT, but he is my GOAT, and I stand by
it. Sure, buddy.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, now let's keep the ball rolling. Personal questions. All right. Let's get a bit more personal, Oyinda. You play football. We know you play football, right?
We know you do too.
I don't play as much, right? You know, life gets serious at a point. You can't keep kicking the ball around
How serious can life get at 16? You know.
You would be shocked. You wouldn't know as well. Like.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait.
But, yeah.
Oh, you're throwing shade. Oh, that's so funny.
I was throwing shade. I was throwing shade.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah. So
what position do you play?
Either way, me. I play. I'm a midfielder. I play either the 8 or the 10. So it's either I'm a box to box. I'm an attacking midfielder. When I was a bit younger, I was forced to play. Obviously, if you're in a secondary school, you're in a boarding school, right? The juniors are always, I don't want to say lower priority, but like when we're picking teams, I don't get to say, I want to play striker, I want to play left. I don't get that. I don't get that option. It's like, yeah, buddy,
right,
center back. Like
got that seniority.
Yeah, there's like seniors that will say that they want to play, they can't go back and be defending for me. So when I was a bit younger, I was forced to play right back quite a lot because I actually. If there was 0-star weak foot, I would have 0. I am incapable of using my left leg, like to play football. I'm being so honest with you. Like, this particular is I just use it for balance, just so I don't topple over. Like, it has no other objective. But yeah. Well, what about you? What positions do you play?
See, anytime someone asks me that, I always have to take a minute because right now I play winger. I play winger for my club, but at school I play outside back. All the attitude. Yeah. I've literally played every position except like 6. But I think my favorite is I think my favorite position is definitely winger.
Definitely winger. Okay. See, now the thing about playing as a winger, right? Obviously I didn't do it as much, right? Because you have to be able to go both ways. And that's the thing that I be talking about when I'm looking at Saka, for example. Saka's first couple of years in the league, right? He had a habit where he always wanted to cut in to a stronger foot. Because most times if you're right, they put you on the left wing, so you cut in, bend the top bins, everybody celebrates.
That inverted foot, yeah.
But then next game, they know you're gonna cut in on your left. You can't do it again. You have to go. So you need to be able to use both feet. You need to be able to cross it in, go byline, put the ball into the box. I can't do that. I can't do that. So, like, I've never personally enjoyed playing wingers more. The only times I do enjoy it is when I'm playing against people I've never played before. Because then it's like, they don't know whether you can go byline or once I'm playing against people I've been playing with every day, they seem to like
they can guess like exactly.
They know, there's no guessing. They know once I get that ball, I'm cutting it. There's no two ways. The left leg is just it was bad.
No, I think I'm pretty I'm all right with both of my feet, I think. So that's why I think I can play winger. But it's you're gonna laugh at me. It's the running. I don't like to run. But like that's the whole job is the issue. So that's why I think like outside back in a way is kind of like a more modified version of winger the way I play it, because I still play like whenever I play outside back at school, like I'm definitely like the more like offensive one of the outside backs, while the other one is more like holding. So I feel like I feel like I could play outside back feels like a cheat code, you know what I'm saying? Like I could play winger without having to run.
Yeah, without having to run. Now I don't know go over what you just said, just so you can hear yourself. Just so you can hear just so you can hear yourself, okay? So as an athlete, as a winger, matter of fact, you say you play football, and then you say the worst part about it is playing the football, is running.
That's not running in general, but running. Okay, maybe I should specify. Maybe I should specify. Running without the ball, off the ball movement is what gets me, but running with the ball is light. Like that's
off
fine.
the ball movement is like 60%. Right, of being okay. That's an exaggeration, right? Off the ball movement is a very valid part of being a winger. You're not always gonna get the ball to feet. You can't always, because when you're playing on those wing, what are you, left footed or right footed?
Right footed.
So if you're playing on the left, you will be playing on the left, right? You can't always expect that you're gonna get the ball to feet and be able to do all your tricks and your skill moves and all that stuff. You're gonna have to make those runs in behind. You're gonna have to track back. Playing on the wings, you're going
of course I know I have to do them, and I know I do them. It's just that I don't like to. Not dislike is too strong a word. It's just like when I'm, I fatigue, and that's human. That's natural. So don't even make that face.
I will continue to make that face. Make that face. But okay, so personally, right? I think the easiest. I know the question was actually favorite position to play. I think the easiest position to play, my personal opinion, is DM.
Really?
And this might sound crazy, right? Yeah, because it's one of those positions where, like, first of all, if you know Sergio Busquets, obviously you know Sergio Busquets is the Barcelona DM, like 2015, that back then, right? Actually, you might not know. That's true. You probably don't know who Sergio Busquets is.
I am 2 years younger than you. Can you relax?
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm 14.
You forget when you're talking to kids, like, sometimes that you need to, like,
kids,
like, bring things down so that they understand what's going on. Yeah, no, sometimes.
It's crazy.
When you're it's
Can you drive?
I actually, I'm supposed to learn.
Let's get back to it.
Can.
You're supposed to learn. I'm supposed to learn too. This kid is supposed to learn too.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll keep it moving if I were you. This argument, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Alright. But basically, if you're playing as a DM, right, you can actually afford to not run as much, right? If you have football IQ, right, you probably won't need to run as much, because it's very, very simple. DM, which is what I was saying about Partey. Partey is a DM. It's about doing the fundamentals very well. That's all. That's pretty much all it is to it. Obviously, if you have some extra world-class abilities, then that really helps. Like, for example, you can pass the ball like Trent. Like, oh my God, see those long balls, other side of the pitch automatically, right? Yeah. Or you're really good at winning headers, or you're really physical. It helps. But being a DM objectively is about being able to do the fundamentals really well. It's one of the positions that's most based on football IQ. And if you watch football IQ, can't necessarily be taught, but it can be learned. And I don't know if that makes sense, right? You can't sit down and teach somebody, okay, You can't sit down and tell somebody, okay, you need to pass the ball when this guy's in this position and then dribble when it's in this position. No, you can learn
Because
it
it
from
varies too
watching
much.
football.
Like you just have to. It's like instinct.
Exactly. You need to watch football and you learn from watching. You can't sit down and tell somebody. There's no
You
list of
sound like my dad.
instructions. I'm just saying, there's no list of
No,
instructions
because
that
like
comes
I
in.
feel like I have like football IQ, yeah, but I don't watch, so I could be like so much like okay, I could be like so much like smarter in the game if I just watch. That's what my dad says over and over again. But
Yes. Watching football is the best, like, because you're gonna watch a DM for, okay, you play left wing. Let's use someone like Gabriel Martinelli, that fraud. You're gonna watch. No, I'm being objective. Right? You're gonna watch someone like Martinelli on the wings, right? And you see him, maybe, okay, he takes too long on the ball. You know, as a winger now that, okay, oh, I need to be quick on the ball. I need to play this pass faster, right? You watch Martinelli, incapable of using his other foot. So every once in a while, oh yeah, I need to practice. Let me learn how to use my left leg. You understand what I'm saying, right? You
I know what you
see,
mean.
who should the left wingers are there in the league? You're a Liverpool fan, Luis Diaz, right? Maybe you see him, he's really, really fast, right? You know that, oh yeah, I need to hit the track. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my 40. You know what I'm saying? You need to get faster. So there's stuff like that help. I'm just saying there's stuff like that help. Like when you watch someone make mistakes, so you won't make the same mistake on the field, right? That's what
You learn from
that's
it.
what it's for. You learn from it. It's as simple as that. But yeah, now let me hear your opinion. What would you say is the easiest position? I know we're talking about
Easiest position.
What's easiest?
Honestly, see, I'm not gonna say striker. Striker's a cop out.
Striker's a cop.
No, striker's a cop out. I'd say outside back. Because
outside
like
back?
even like outside back, yeah. Because like if you think about it, on the defensive line, I'd say that center back is definitely like one of the hardest. Well, maybe I'm just saying that because I find it hard to play. Maybe I'm not gonna speak objectively because I can't speak objectively. For me personally, center back is one of the hardest positions because I'm always creeping up the field. I can't hold the line down or nothing like that. Like I'll always be like one of the highest people on the field. So that's why outside back for me, I think is the easiest because you can still creep up the field and you're not, but like not to the point where you're leaving the whole like exposed. Like you're still like, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm not making sense.
I get what you're saying. But to say that centre back is the hardest position to play in football, now I'm not personally. Okay. No, okay. I'm gonna not make. I'm being objective here. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be objective. Okay. So I don't think centre back is a very easy. Like, okay, obviously I'm talking about like, obviously you need a certain build to play centre back. Like you can't be scrawny, you can't be short to play centre back, right?
Yeah,
if you have the build, it's one of the easiest positions to play. Very, very simple. Ball, like it's caveman knowledge. Ball no cross me. Ball go
caveman knowledge. Like, are you calling me? What am I then? I'm an amoeba?
Nah. Okay, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying like it's very centre back and striker. Okay, centre back, striker, and goalkeeper. I'll say like the three. One of the another
goalkeeper. That's interesting.
No, like I'm saying, if we're being objective, like it's just okay. Ball no cross line. Don't let ball cross line.
No, keeper. I disagree with you on that one because I just finished playing a tournament, right? And mind you, today was the finals. We played finals today. The thing is, so we have like there's like 3 age groups for my club. And the younger girls, they had a tournament too, and they kind of got like disqualified because they were like mixing rosters, yeah. So we have some of them that play up with us because we're the oldest, and we couldn't play them today because of that. Like we didn't want to risk like getting disqualified. And one of them is like our keeper, like our main keeper. So we didn't have a keeper today because we didn't play her. And it goes to show that not everybody can play keeper because we lost like 5-0.
So I didn't say no. Okay, fair enough. You lost 5. Oh, you lost 5.
So it's hard.
Hard. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about. But first of all, now yes, not anybody can play keeper, right?
Yeah.
How do I put it? When I'm talking, I mean, the second time when I was talking about I'm talking about like in terms of instructions, because there's obviously a certain body type you need to play some certain positions, right? You can't be 5'3". I want to be a goalkeeper. I'm sorry, but it's not for you. And then you
can't be a fat like winger.
You can't be a chunky winner. Like that's how it works, right? So I feel like if we're looking at them, I was talking about it from like an instruction, maybe like instructions, like aspects. Maybe I feel like that wasn't the best angle to look at it from, but like it's just don't let the ball cross the line. And I feel like it's more if you're an athlete, like I mean like an athlete, like I feel like any really good basketballer could be a good goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
What am I saying?
That makes sense.
Any average, like any really good athlete. I'm talking about like athleticism, pure athleticism, could be a good goalkeeper. Because a goalkeeper
that
position,
I know people who play basketball that are really good goalies. Yeah,
exactly. No. Goalkeeper position is a position that's purely based on athleticism. It's not about there's not much football IQ that goes into it. Are you an athletic player? Yes.
You just gotta be able to like leap side to side.
Exactly. Able to
lateral,
jump, able to stretch. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's very caveman like. It's very big, strong guy. Stop ball, enter
ball, no go.
Ball no goal.
Ball no net.
Ball no net.
Like
it's
as simple as that.
It's
that's fair. That's fair. So like at face value, like on paper, like I say, like okay, if we're looking at it like that, then yeah, goalkeeper is pretty simple. But center back is hard. I don't care what you say. Center back is hard.
I'll let you have that. But now, final.
Yeah.
Position, okay. All right? Hardest position to play. Now we're going
hardest position.
Hardest position to play.
You can start this one. What's yours?
I think it's the 10. That's the central attacking midfielder, the guy right behind the striker. Because a heavy part of the game is dependent on you. Because your point of making that distinction that you're not a defensive midfielder, you're not just a midfielder, you are an attacking midfielder, is that you're supposed to be the link between the centre backs or the DMs and the strikers and the wingers.
And your forwards,
And your forwards, because what you have to do, first of all, you have to always be aware of where you are on the field. I think, right? You have to always be aware of where you are on the field. You have to always be ready to, scanning, where's everybody? Because you're not going to, if you're playing professional football, you're not going to get the time to control the ball, look up, pass. No. You're going to have time, sometimes probably going to be, control pass, immediately, quick. You watch the really good 10s, like, Odegaard is. I don't want to bring Odegaard into this conversation again. Let's look at Bruno, right? At Manchester United, right? He what's it called? I don't know how to put it. You need to always know what you're gonna do with the ball before you get the ball, because you probably won't have enough time.
Definitely.
Because the thing about where your position is, if you're playing against a team with the exact same formation, you're in a space where you're not necessarily man marked by someone. I don't know. You're always operating in space. So. What's it called? By the time you get the ball, there's people that are elsewhere. People are, like.
So you have to be like decisive.
Exactly. For a winger now, you have a man. You have one dude probably. Maybe if you're really good, they double on you. They double up on you. You have two guys you need to worry about once you get the ball. Okay, just know where this guy is.
But the 10, you got to worry about everybody around you.
Everybody is your problem. Everybody. The two centre backs in front of you, the DMs that might be slightly behind you, or maybe on your same level. Though everybody is your problem, so you need to be ready. Eyes up fast, play the ball through, and you obviously need technical ability. So see where everything is coming. For example, goalkeeper is a very athleticism-based position, right? DM is very IQ-based position, right? But a calm is like the mix of everything. You need to be an athletic person. You need to have stamina to be able to run around. You need to be able to stretch. You need to be able to do all these things. You need to be smart. You need to be able to, I can't pass the ball to that guy. They're pressing him. Oh, wait, I need to know when to press. Because pressing is another part I didn't even mention. Right? You need to be able to know how to block passing lanes. Right? Because the way I look at it, right? Pressing is trying to, you want trying to force them to make a mistake. You block the passing lanes. Let the, for example, at least where I play football, right? You see a defender that's not that good on the ball. Don't press the defender. Leave the defender. Press everybody he wants to pass the ball to. Where is he going to go? Do you know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's fair.
A lot more, IQ that goes into these things, and then the technical ability.
I agree with you. I would say it's either the 10 or the CDM, because I feel like the CDM is all of that, but just at a defensive level, if that makes sense. Because if you think about it, and you're pretty much like the playmaker of the whole thing, and that's pretty much what you said about 10. No, you are, because if you think about it, you're the one, you take it from what's it called? When you're Yeah, the center
The
back. You
center
take it
backs.
for the center backs, and you're either sending that long ball, you're making all the combinations with like the wingers, or you're making it with the 10 and overlapping with the 10. Like you're making all of those moves. So I feel like you still have like a lot of like there's a lot of like ball IQ that goes into that, and then you also have to have a lot of like you said it before, like you have to like be good with all like the fundamentals and all of that. So I feel like
The
that's a really hard position to
fundamentals.
play
Yeah.
because you have to be good at everything. You have to be able to run because you're going box to box. You have to be able to you're less going box to box than the 10 actually. So actually, I think maybe the 10 might be the hardest.
You have a point, but I don't want to agree with you because I just
Mm-hmm.
previously said that CDM was a really easy position to play, so it kind of discredits it discredits. But yeah, no, you are right. You are, and I'm not thinking about it that way. You are right. Playing a DM it's actually if I'm being fair, probably it's harder than the cam position because of the added defense. It's basically a cam, but with the added defense, except you don't have as much pressure on the ball for you when you get the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
you're calm now, you know that you're always operating in pockets. For example, a DM, you're kind of I don't know how to put it. A DM should always be around the ball. It can't always need to be in space. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference, right? It can't always need to be operating in space, not necessarily where the ball is, because the cam is in space, then he's doing his job, right? But a DM, on the other hand, just you need to know where the ball is at, or everybody needs to know where the ball is at. I mean, like you need to always be around the ball. They're passing the ball on the right when you need to go shift closer to the right center back. Be ready, be ready to support. Right, they're going to the left, be ready to shift to the left, ready to support. You're gonna do quite a lot of lateral running. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do agree with you. You have a very, very valid
Honestly, I agree.
here.
I think both of them are. Honestly, I've always found it hard to play in the middle. Like no matter what position, like I'm just like I always feel so disoriented. Like I feel so like because on the side you can see like the whole field to some extent. But then I feel like
that's a good point. I should have mentioned that. I should have mentioned that because being in the middle, like to know where everybody is, you have to keep your head on the swivel. You have to left, right behind you.
Always switched on, always checking shoulders and stuff.
You're playing right back. Like the whole
like it's all in front of you. It's all in front of you.
Is in front of you. So yeah, actually, you have a really good point. But yeah, wow, it seems I think the ball has stopped rolling. The ball has
finally come to a stop.
It's finally come to a stop. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate your engagement with the videos. So please like, comment, subscribe, and
just
share with your friends.
Supporting.
Let's continue supporting my dad's little project. My dad's little hustle, if you want to call it that. So So please like, subscribe. Comments your opinions. Let's hear what you have to say. Do you agree? Do you think CDM is easier position to play? Right? What is your easiest position? That's actually a good question. Matter of fact, comments in the comment section. I want to
comment and defend Jaden Daniels. I want to hear what they have to say about Jaden Daniels.
Nobody's defending Jaden Daniels.
Yes, they are. But yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been fun. So comment. Let me hear. What is your hardest position to play in football? And please, can you hear me explain to this lady that Jaden Daniels is not?
Yeah, we'll end it at that.
I think we'll end this at that. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Nice talking with y'all.
All right.